Alright, you've done it. You've gone full-on war mode against carbs. Bread, gone. Pasta, see ya. Potatoes? Not even in your dreams. Everyone says this is the way, the fast lane to dropping pounds and hitting those goals. But instead of feeling amazing and energized, you're constantly hungry, weirdly obsessed with the exact foods you've banned, and starting to think, is this even possible? So, what if the real problem isn't the carbs themselves, but a huge mental mistake you're making in how you go about it? Let's be real, the idea of losing weight fast by ditching carbs? Super tempting. You see the headlines, those amazing before and afters, and you're like, yes, this is what I need. So, with all that determination, you clear out your pantry, plan your super low-carb meals, and get ready for a whole new way of eating. And for the first few days, maybe even a week or two, it might actually feel like it's working. The number on the scale might even drop a bit, giving you that exciting rush. You feel in control, maybe even a little smug for being so clean. But then, slowly, things start to unravel. That initial energy kick, if you even got one, starts to fade. You might feel tired, cranky, or find it hard to focus. People might say, oh, that's just the keto flu, or your body's just adjusting. But along with feeling blah, something else, something sneakier, starts bubbling up. The cravings. Oh man, the cravings. It starts small. A little thought about warm, crusty bread, or that perfect pasta chewiness, or even a sweet piece of fruit. But soon, those little whispers get loud. Your mind turns into a non-stop battle against wanting those forbidden foods. Suddenly, you're thinking about food all the time, not in a yum nourishment kind of way, but more like, I miss you, forbidden food. Social stuff becomes a nightmare. Dinner with friends, you're anxiously scanning the menu for safe foods, feeling a bit like an outsider while everyone else just enjoys their meal. Family get-together, you're politely saying no thanks to dishes you used to love, maybe even feeling like you have to explain yourself, which is just draining. And honestly, it can suck the joy out of eating and even make you feel a bit cut off. All that constant watching, tracking every little thing, bargaining with yourself, it's exhausting. And it's not just about willpower, right? You are strong, you are determined, but this feels like you're fighting your own body and brain, okay? So here's the real kicker. The big mistake isn't usually just cutting carbs, it's how aggressively and restrictively people do it. That's what messes with your head. The real saboteur is often a tag team, the restriction mindset, and that all or nothing thinking. Think about it. When you tell yourself you can never have something, what's the first thing your brain does? It zooms in on it. That banned food suddenly becomes the most amazing, desirable thing ever. That's not you being weak, it's just how our brains are wired. When you severely cut carbs, your body often freaks out thinking it's being deprived, which then makes your brain scream for those exact foods. This creates a really tricky mental game. The more you restrict, the more you want those carbs. It's like telling a kid, whatever you do, don't push that big red button. What happens? The button is all they can think about. Focusing so hard on not eating carbs can make you obsessed with food, sometimes to an unhealthy point where eating clean becomes a stressful fixation. And then, you know what happens. That moment when you slip up. Maybe it's a crazy stressful day, a party with 0 low-carb options, or just a moment the cravings win. You have a bite of bread, a tiny bit of pasta, and bam, the all-or-nothing thinking swoops in. Well, ruin that. Might as well go all out now. Sound familiar? That's the what the hell effect. One tiny step off the super strict path feels like total failure, so you end up diving headfirst into a carb feast. For some, These cycles of being super strict then binging can be really tough, possibly upping the risk for metabolic problems and unhealthy eating habits. This whole deprivation then overdoing it thing isn't just bad for your body, it's rough on your mind too. Again, this isn't about you failing. It's the strategy that's set up to fail. Feeling mentally crummy from these strict rules, like being irritable or moody, just makes it even harder to stick to the plan. Seriously, cutting carbs way down can mess with your mood and energy because carbs help make serotonin, that feel-good chemical in your brain. Some research even shows that drastically low carbs can mess with your memory, especially when you're trying to focus on hard stuff. Plus, going this hard on carb cutting totally ignores what your body actually needs. Carbs are your body's go-to fuel, especially for your brain and muscles. Cutting them way down can leave you feeling drained, making it tougher to exercise, stay motivated, or just feel good. It's not just a mind game. Cutting carbs too hard can actually backfire on your body and mess up your goals even more. It's not just about feeling deprived. Your body can genuinely take a hit. One of the biggest problems, you could end up missing out on important nutrients. Many foods high in carbs are also packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and super important fiber. Think whole grains, fruits, veggies, and beans. They give you B vitamins, magnesium, calcium, iron, and antioxidants. If you just chop these foods out without a good plan, you're likely missing key stuff. For example, a lot of us don't get enough magnesium, and cutting grains and beans can make that worse. A 2025 study even flagged that low-carb diets can lead to not getting enough vitamin C, iron, and magnesium, which could cause health issues down the line. Supplements can plug some gaps, sure, but they're not the same as getting those goodies from actual food. Fiber often gets the boot too when you go super low carb. Fiber is a rock star for your gut, helps with digestion, and can make you feel fuller longer. All good things for losing weight in a way you can stick with. Most of us aren't getting enough fiber anyway, and cutting carbs makes it even tougher. Hello, constipation and a potentially unhappy gut. Eating good quality carbs like whole grains, fruits, and veggies is actually linked to less constipation. And then there's how it hits your energy and mood. While some people on very low-carb diets talk about steady energy from ketosis, that switchover period, or even sticking with it long-term, can bring on the carb flu. Think feeling tired, cranky, having trouble sleeping, and brain fog. Feeling like that makes it super hard to stay on track, and a lot of people just give up. Remember, your brain needs carbs to make things like serotonin, so cutting them way back can really affect how you feel. Some studies even point to brain fog, or worse memory, on really low-carb diets because your brain isn't getting enough glucose. And for some folks, super low-carb diets, especially if they're heavy on certain proteins and fats, might have long-term health downsides. There are concerns about kidneys, especially if you already have issues, kidney stones, and cholesterol going in the wrong direction if the diet isn't set up right. While some studies say high protein is okay for healthy kidneys, people with kidney failure should definitely steer clear of high-protein, low-carb plans. What kind of protein and fat you eat really matters. Low-carb diets that rely a lot on animal protein and fat have been linked to higher death rates in some studies, while those that lean on plant-based sources were linked to lower rates. But maybe the biggest reason these diets fail is just how darn hard they are to stick with. It's not just about willpower, it's about real life. Carbs are in most meals, part of different cultures, and a big part of sharing food with others. Always being that person with all the food rules, it can be lonely and, honestly, a pain. So if super strict carb cutting is basically a mental trap, what's a better way? It's all about moving from that can't have it mindset to something more balanced, doable, and thoughtful. 1. Stop making carbs the bad guy. Carbs are not evil. Your body actually needs them. The trick is picking the right ones. Go for complex carbs. Things like whole grains, oats, quinoa, brown rice, fruits, veggies, even starchy ones like sweet potatoes and squash in sensible amounts. And beans. These guys are loaded with fiber, nutrients, and give you steady energy, unlike refined carbs. Think white bread, sugary cereals, pastries, that don't offer much nutrition and can make your energy crash. 2. Think moderation, not total elimination. Instead of kicking out an entire food group, focus on how much you're eating and the quality of your carbs. You don't have to say goodbye to pasta or bread forever. Just learn to enjoy smaller, smart portions of your favorite carby foods and pair them with plenty of protein, healthy fats, and veggies. This makes eating way more fun and something you can actually stick with. 3. Actually, listen to your body. Super strict diets teach us to ignore our body's natural hunger and fullness signals. Time to tune back in. Are you really hungry, or just bored, stressed, or eating because it's time? When you do eat, slow down. Enjoy it. This can really help you notice when you're comfortably full, so you don't overeat. 4. Focus on what you can ADD, not just what you're cutting out. Instead of obsessing over what you can't eat, think about what you can add to your meals to make them more nutritious and satisfying. More colorful veggies, more lean protein, more good fats like avocado, nuts, and olive oil. When your plate is full of good stuff, you'll naturally have less room and less desire for the not-so-great options. 5. Go for gradual changes, not a massive overhaul. If you do want to cut back on carbs, do it slowly. This gives your body and brain time to adjust, making those intense cravings and side effects less likely. Small, steady changes are way more likely to stick than a sudden, drastic shock to your system. 6. Know your mental triggers. Pay attention to what situations, feelings, or even times of day make you crave certain foods or ditch your healthy plans. Stress, boredom, social pressure? Figure it out, and you can find better ways to deal with it that don't involve derailing your diet. 7. Rethink. Slip-ups. Nobody's perfect with their diet. You'll have times you eat more carbs than planned. Instead of seeing it as a total disaster, hello, all or nothing trap. See it as a chance to learn. Acknowledge it, no judgment, and just get back on track with your next meal. One off meal won't ruin everything. Being flexible is key, not being super rigid. 8. Make sustainability your top priority. The best diet is the one you can actually live with, long term. If your current plan feels like a constant fight, makes you miserable, or cuts you off from friends, it's not going to last, no matter how perfect it looks on paper. Find a way of eating that feeds your body, helps you reach your goals, and, super important, that you can genuinely enjoy and keep up for life. This usually means balance, not extremes. So many of us fight this mental battle with super strict carb cutting, often quietly blaming ourselves for not having enough willpower. But now you see there's more to it, right? Ever been caught in this carb cutting trap? What happened when you tried to slash your carbs? Drop your thoughts and stories in the comments. Let's all learn from each other. And hey, if this helped you out and you want more tips on eating well without losing your mind, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.